Hello, this is the Global News podcast from the BBC World Service with reports and analysis from across the world. The latest news 7 days a week. BBC World Service podcasts are supported by advertising.
This is the Global News podcast from the BBC World Service. I'm Janat Jalil, and at 14 hours GMT on Thursday the 13th of February, these are our main stories. China reveals a massive rise in the number of deaths and infections from the coronavirus in the worst-hit province of Hubei, as it sacks top officials over the crisis. And angry protesters in Pakistan accuse the government of not doing enough to bring back its students from the Chinese city worst affected by the virus. Plus,
this huge bomb landed outside the building. There's flames and there's always more bombs dropping. The whole of the centre of Dresden was alight.
we speak to one of the few remaining survivors of the Allied bombing of Dresden 75 years ago, which killed an estimated 25,000 people. Also in this podcast,
businesses have hardly been able to operate, and many of them have threatened to leave the area. The big hospitals in this municipality can't function because they also don't have water.
how corruption and misrule are fueling discontent in South Africa. And we find out about the giant turtle that roamed the oceans in prehistoric times. Well, as the epidemic took hold in China, many countries evacuated their citizens. But the Pakistani government has been criticised for failing to bring back 500 students from the worst-hit city, Wuhan. The authorities in Islamabad are advising them to stay put and to follow the advice of the Chinese authorities to try to avoid infection. But as Sekunda Kamani reports from Pakistan, their families are both frightened and furious.
वापस करो वापस करो शर्म करो शर्म करो.
Angry chants in Islamabad from the families of Pakistani students trapped in virus-struck Wuhan city. Shame on you, they shout, naming different government officials.
They're thinking if they raise it with China, it could jeopardize their investment and relationship. They're scared. If we are scared all the time, how will we live?
Currently, I am in Wuhan, and here I am living with my family. And this is the apartment where I am living with my wife and 3 kids.
PhD student Asif Safir is one of those in Wuhan. He sent us this video showing us around his apartment, where he, his wife and their 3 small children have spent much of the past 3 weeks.
It's very difficult for the kids to stay in the home for a long time period.
He asks his son what he will do when he's allowed to go out again. I'll go and see the panda in the zoo and buy chocolate, 6-year-old Mohid replies. Asif's tearful parents in the eastern city of Faisalabad are desperate for them to return.
They don't have enough to eat or drink, so we are really worried. They can't go outside. The children are very small. All the other countries have been taking their people out. Our government isn't doing anything.
At Islamabad airport, flights between China and Pakistan are running as per usual. But no one from Wuhan has been allowed to return for fear the virus could spread. Chinese officials have praised the authorities here for not imposing a travel ban on all passengers from the country and for trusting them to look after those Pakistani students stranded in Wuhan.
The Chinese government and the Pakistani government, we are working.
The Chinese ambassador, Yao Jing, released this video on social media.
More than 500 students and the citizens of Pakistan in Wuhan, they are safe and sound. They are well attended and looked after by the local government. And your embassy, the Pakistani embassy in Beijing, is also following the situation.
This is my community, and I am outside the apartment. You can see here all the roads are empty.
Asif sends us a video of the largely deserted streets in Wuhan.
Now here I am in vegetable market. As you can see that all the shops are closed. Only one shop is open.
There are concerns about how Pakistan could cope with any outbreak of the coronavirus. and some Pakistanis in Wuhan say it's better they stay there. Others, though, just want to come home.
Secunda Kamani reporting. Today, the